Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your February 2025 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found alchemy. Glancing at your cards, the vibe I am getting is that this is an almost personal reading. This is going to apply to very few Tauruses, to be honest with you. Normally when readers get readings like this, they just don't upload them. But I really think this is someone's reading. And this person came out because they need to be seen and they need to be heard. So if this is not your reading, I apologize in advance. I'm going to provide a trigger warning, most likely, an almost personal title, and I will probably upload something for February that is more for the general public, okay? Now, you may look at this reading and not relate to it at all, but for some of you, these things may come to pass and you might have to revert back to this reading at some point. So feel free to do that. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's get started. You do have the separation card. So it's going to be you separating from something, going a different way. Now, this could be a relationship, obviously, going two different ways. This could be two separate parts of yourself. This could be something that you're forced to deal with, something that you're forced away from, something that happens that's out of your control. Let's keep going and we'll see. Okay, you do have Earth, and this is your energy, and it says, ask the element of Earth for grounding, stability, and strength. Yes. So you're going to be leaning into your Earth element. And you also might find yourself being angry at some point this month. It says release any resentment or anger to move forward to a higher vibration. Everybody gets angry. When Taurus people get angry, it is no joke. They have a wicked temper when they're mad, I think in order to get to that point, it takes a lot, but once they get to that point, you better just stand back. So there may be a part of this month where you're angry at someone, something, or a situation, okay? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Okay. Let's just look at this. You have electricity here, and it says wildness. Number 36. So when we look at number 36, we look at electricity. This is very fiery energy. This is the element of fire, to be honest with you. And so is anger. That is the element of fire as well. When electricity comes out, you're either being asked to confront the situation head on, or that's the energy you're putting into it. You're confronting something head on. Something's you're not happy about something, and boom, you do have the snake here, and it says transformation. You will be shedding an old skin, emotions, transforming them into something bigger and better. Changes in the wind, and you are at the center of it all as a catalyst to smooth the process. Make sure that your intentions are clear and that you move forward with hope. This is very Scorpio in nature, and it's very plutonic, and it's also the year of the wood snake, as of, I believe it's January 30th. So we are entering the year of the snake. You are shedding a skin. You're separating from something. And like I said, you could be dropping an aspect of yourself as a result of something that happens. You could be walking away from a human being, from a relationship, a job. Could be any of those things, okay? You do have number 27. I am expressive. And I would say so here. And what's interesting too, it is an expressive card. It is number 27, which breaks down into a 9, and the number 9 is Mars energy. And that can be anger, that can be fire, that can be a certain amount of aggression. It can be warlike. It can be just a disturbance. It could be a disturbance. It says dream sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep, that lasts till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. This is number 45 in this deck, and it is coming in sideways. You may have problems with sleep this month. You may waffle between sleeping okay and not sleeping okay. It's coming in sideways. And usually that is a choice in my readings, but I do think that you're waffling between having bad night's sleep, having anxiety, having a disturbance, you know, um, and not. You have unity here, which is pretty interesting when we look at this whole thing, right? There is something you're releasing, and there may be something as a result here, Taurus, that you're coming together with, right? Usually when we get the separation alchemy card, it is a necessary separation or a separation that's out of your control no matter what, right? And when that happens, there is a space there that needs to be filled or that is ready to be filled. So it's very, very possible that although there is loss here, you may not be happy about what's going on. There is now going to be a space for something else. Okay, so let's keep that in mind as we go along. Now, as we move ahead to the Lenormand deck here, we have two cards. We have the Sun and we have Rider. And you know, the Lenormand deck is different, but not very different, right? When I see the Sun card, I absolutely think of Leo, and that's more fire energy. More fire energy in the reading. And it's also truth. It's also enlightenment. It's also something that's going to be shown to you, something that's going to be illuminated to you. The sun's going to shine and you're going to see something. And you have Rider here. And, you know, the Rider card is news, messages. It's movement, but there is some sort of message that comes in that illuminates something, that makes you wiser, that gives you information that you may or may not like, but it is the truth, and it is an illumination nonetheless. Let's look at your astrology here. You have two cards that came out, and one of them is Virgo, and this is a sister sign to you, another earth sign. You have a lot of earth energy. You also have a lot of fire energy in this reading. Fire and earth seem to be very prevalent. And you know, with Virgo, Virgos are very methodical. They sense things. They're very, very good at figuring things out, getting to the bottom of something, getting things done the way you need to. Most earth signs are very capable that way, very grounded that way. And so your earth energy is going to get you through this. But I think there's going to be an element to this that is out of your comfort zone. It's something that you haven't experienced yet. You have here Pluto, and this sort of drives the point home here, Taurus. Whoever's reading this is anyway. You know, we look at Pluto, and it manifests as an intense energy, and that can be both destructive and transformative. So you have both energies here on the table. Let's look at this here. Let's look at the moon void, of course, first, okay? When we have the moon void, of course, it says disconnect, withdrawal, reception. Let's see if I can get that closer. Moon void, of course. Now, the moon void, of course, occurs when the transiting moon makes its last major aspect to another celestial body before moving from one zodiac to the next. So it's that in-between time, right? It's the space of the moon itself entering the void, a void. Now, since the moon enters all 12 of the zodiac signs every 27 days, the moon void, of course, happens every I would say every 2 to 3 days, right? It occurs several times a week. You could easily look it up on the internet if you're interested in it at all. It's sort of a lack of focus time. During this time, it's best to involve yourself in receptive pastimes like meditation, journaling, dreaming, and other sort of yin activities that pull you inward. By restoring yourself, you're brewing energy that you can then infuse into your manifestations when the moon goes direct. But this is a disconnect. It is a disconnect. It is a separation. It is a withdrawal. Either voluntarily or not voluntarily. It is you separating from something. You being, I keep thinking that it's something that you have no control over, that it's just something that you're doing. You have here, you have philosophy, spirituality, and knowledge with Sagittarius in the ninth house. And, when we look at that, that sort of pushes us to new heights. The ninth house represents philosophy, knowledge, advanced learning, blah, 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 things like that. This house is a portal of sorts to the universe that propels us to grow, right? Very Jupiter energy, that expansive energy. Either way, the ninth house deals with expansion inside and out. It shapes our ideology. It shapes how you process the world. This impacts your spirituality, your relationship with the divine, your relationship with others. What truths have you learned from this experience this month? This is a question that you should ask yourself at the end of the month, because this is a very expansive time for whoever is reading this is. Keep in mind that if this is not your reading, there is no reason to rail against it. Just simply click off, right? Just simply wait till the next reading comes out. That not every reading is going to be yours, right? Let's look at the charms here. You have all these initials. You have V, B as in boy, U, K, Z as in zebra, and S as in Sam. So this very well may be someone's name, initials, first, middle, last name. Could be the name of a city, could name of a state, could be the initial of something that occurs, If you don't want to revert back to this reading, you could always just write this down, write these letters down, and see how it applies to you by the end of the month. You do have here the Three of Swords, and this is heartbreak, my friend. There is something that's going to be painful, something that you may take that pain and it may come out inadvertently, at least at times. It's not like you're going to be angry all month, but the pain might come out in different ways, and one of those ways might at times be anger. You have a bell going off. Again, a message that you receive. Something clicks. You understand what's going on. You have the white rose. This is something that you may not see coming. At least for some of you, you may not see. There is a sort of mourning period here. There is something going on that hurts you. It's either something that you're keeping to yourself, or something that you may not have seen coming here, Taurus, for sure. Now, let's move on to your tarot, okay? So you have, move this out of the way. You have something, it says remember, awakening, and I see that it came out twice. I don't mean to jump ahead, but there is an awakening of sorts. There is something going on here that may hearken to something that happened in the past. Yeah, I mean, I know one person who pulled these cards once, and what ended up happening, and I'm not saying this is happening to you, this is just an example of how he felt a certain level of abandonment as a child through one of his parents, that he came to grips with. He was very successful in pretty much every way. But then when his mother passed away, he felt that it all came back, like as it was his father who abandoned him. And it all that came back in a very unexpected way. He thought he had dealt with it, and I'm sure he did. But we can't always control, right, what comes back to us as pain, and what doesn't, and what sort of connects the dots for us. So there's something being unearthed here, something from your past. There is an awakening. There is something you're going to remember. And I really get the strong feeling it's a feeling, right? Definitely something that's triggering you. You may feel very, very, the Fool can mean many things in many readings here, okay? But for this particular tone, I really think that it is you remembering a time where you were very naive, very young, very trusting, right? You were at ground zero, and there's something that may have occurred during that time, right? It is something that you are remembering. You're remembering it here, Taurus. You have the Wheel of Fortune coming in reverse. It's a major arcana, obviously. Another major arcana, I should say. And it is the number 10. And it is a Jupiter card. And it's a very, it's a Jupiter fixed energy, like yourself, right? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are all fixed signs. So, but it is very Jupiter. And there is a certain level of disappointment here. There is something that stops you in your tracks. And you have right next to it the Nine of Swords, and that is sleepless nights, anxiety, could be sadness, could be a period of mourning in some way, shape, or form. You know, that is Mars and Gemini energy. And this whole time on your first leg, it ends with the Nine of Wands. And you know, with the Nine of Wands here, it is Moon in Sagittarius. The Nine of Wands is like the wounded warrior of the deck, right? There is something that puts you in a mode, right? A mode of like there. When you look at the wounded warrior, he is in the process of healing, but he's standing his ground. He's staying strong. He's being persistent. He's trying to, you know, stand up to what's going on and be useful, be productive, but he's wounded. He's wounded. And when we add this up and we break it down, it is Pluto energy, just like over here. It's number 10, Pluto energy, transformation, death, rebirth. It is that manifesting right at the start of your month. Okay, so let's look at your second leg. You have lack, doubts. You maybe have lingering doubts about something that's been going on. You may feel lack. There is something going on. You're separating from something. You're feeling like there is something going on like that here, because even here you have the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is Mars and Scorpio energy. It is the river of tears, right? There is something of value in back of him, but right now he's focused on his pain. He's focused on his mourning period, right? And there is that taking up a big part of your month. And here you have, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, look at that. So you have, this is a very interesting deck. There are double cards here and there. Not all cards are doubled, but some of them are. And you have two. Well, in the center of your whole reading, you have the Nine of Swords. You have the Nine of Swords, just like over here. Just like over here. Wow. Actually, there's three of them. I've never seen this before, okay? I'm just letting you know. So you have... Let me see something. As you can see, they're the same number, right? You have the Nine of Swords here and the Nine of Swords here. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. And you have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So now we know that this is Mars and Gemini energy, right? Anxiety, grief, but you do start to move past this. But most of your month is taken up by this here, for sure, right? Yeah, most of your month is definitely taken up by this. Wow. Okay, wait, let's get this. So, you know what I forgot to mention here, right, is you have the Nine of Wands as well. No, I didn't. I did mention that. I'm sorry. This is just really strange. I have never seen three identical cards come out in the same reading. You do have, you know, these two cards that are identical, but you know, with good news is that even though you are going through some sort of period of mourning here, you it's as though you flip this card over and you go through what you have to go through, but then you turn it around and you start to feel a little bit better. You do. You start to feel a little bit better. On your second leg, when we break this down, we get Mercury, which is Gemini Virgo energy. But it could be you traveling to an event, traveling to something. Maybe this is centered around a trip you need to take. It is clarity of thought, and I see that perfectly. You go from this lack of sleep, perhaps anxiety, to sudden clarity. Your doubts, your lack, to this crispness. Definitely. Now here's the second awakening card, right? You have this. There is something this month that is bringing you back to the past. Bringing you back to the past. You have the Two of Wands here in reverse on your last leg. This is more as an Aries energy. There is something that does stop you in your tracks. I mean, you are trying to pull out of this, but I do see that this month is a month of growth, transformation. There is pain involved. There is something you're letting go of. And try as you might, you have to go through it, right? You can't put it on the back burner. You can't not feel it. You're going to have to feel it in order to get past this and get to the good stuff here. Taurus. And this, yeah, just see this, yeah, this stops you in your tracks. And then you have the Six of Cups, which is the past card, right? It's Sun and Scorpio. It is memories, childhood memories, memories. I mean, the oracle up there said that you would have painful thoughts from the past. You're remembering something. Now, with these two cards towards the end, you have the Strength card in reverse. Now, the Strength card in reverse, it's Leo energy for sure, and you could look at that like it's negative, or you could look at it like you're finally relinquishing that need to control, that need to not feel certain things, that need to, I'm really feeling it's like controlling your own stuff, right? And you have here the Eight of Swords, right next to it. And the Eight of Swords is Jupiter and Gemini energy. You may feel trapped. You may not feel good. This may not be comfortable for you. This could have something to do with your heart. I mean, it is, when we break this down, we get Venus, and Venus could be love, and it also could be money, but I'm not feeling money to this. I'm just not. This is something else, something you're mourning. You're mourning something here. You've got a triple card. I still cannot believe. I'm still looking at that. So I apologize if I keep going back to it. That is a very strong indication that you're going to be going through something, and you're going to try to use your old ways, the ways that have always worked for you, to get past this. And it looks like you succeed, but you're reverted right back into this for some reason. You need to learn from this. There is something you need to learn. There is something you need to feel. There is something you need to go through. Okay? You just do. I can already see that this reading isn't going to be popular. And when I see reading after reading after reading for all the signs of, oh, you're going to, meet the man of or the woman of your dreams. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And if you look at each title and it's just so great for everyone, what are the odds of that happening? Like, what are the odds of everybody hitting the lottery? Everybody, meeting the person of their dreams that month. Everybody just doing phenomenal. Everyone has bad months. And if you're listening to a reader that gives you nothing but good news, I don't know. I just don't see the value in that. Likewise, you don't want to listen to someone who's always negative either. But there are readings like this that are not going to be popular that I'm going to upload anyway. And like I said, being that this is only going to touch upon certain Taurus people, I'm going to upload another bonus video for Taurus because, it's just only fair. So anyway, Yeah, comfort zone. Here we go. Clinging to a comfort zone. That comfort zone could be the strength that you've always relied upon, that groundedness that you've always relied upon. Maybe you're not comfortable feeling certain things. I can relate to that. I'm an Aquarian, I have a Taurus moon. I understand that it's difficult. It is. It is a very difficult thing. Even when you go into therapy, if you're not willing to feel what you need to feel and you're just speaking the truth, I just don't think you get as far as you would get if you forced yourself to feel certain things. Now, it's easy for me to say that, but it's not easy for me to live it. But there is something you're being asked to do, and it's a challenge, and it's something to do with your comfort zone here. Okay, and you do have the Seven of Wands, which is Mars in Leo, and this is your challenge column. What you're going to find challenging is your Seven of Wands. Overcoming obstacles. It's going to be a challenge. Doesn't mean you're not going to do it. I think you are, especially when I look ahead just a little bit. You're going to do it, but it's not going to be easy. You have the Queen of Coins, and this is the watery part of Earth, right? Saturn in Capricorn. It may be challenging for you or outside your comfort zone to, what did I just say? That watery part of you, right? The King of Coins would be more comfortable, at least this month. But you're being asked to stay, obviously you're an earth sign, but you're being asked to feel something from your past, something that you may have avoided. But you have the Ace of Cups here, right? Your emotions. When we add this up and we break it down, what do we get? We get Saturn, the Lord of Karma, lessons, rites of passage. It's a rite of passage. Capricorn, Aquarius energy, yes, but yeah. This is necessary. Feeling certain things this month are necessary. Remembering certain things this month is necessary here. Now, you have an opportunity column as well. And it looks, you're going to have an opportunity that comes from all this pain. Because here you have Venus. There you go. It's an offer. Do you think it has something to do with love, Taurus? You have, here it is, the Queen of Cups. You go from the Queen of Pentacles straight into the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is, it's Neptune in Cancer. It is obviously the watery part of water, right? But this could be someone offering you emotional support during this time. Someone who's who's ready to heal you. This could be you stepping into a role that you're of a healer. The role of you going from that earthy, grounded energy to being in your feels. It's one or the other. But being that this says offer, I am really wondering if this is a love offer. This is someone who offers to help you through this time. You do have, and wow, look at that. You have strength in reverse, and this is in your opportunities column, and we saw that here, right? The Leo energy, vulnerability, Taurus, being vulnerable. You're being called upon to be vulnerable. You're being called upon to let down your walls. Think outside your box. Your box. Do things differently than how you've done them. Get through this, whatever it is that's happening, in a way that you're not used to or prepared for. Now you do have the Judgment card here. Right side up. That is Pluto energy. Again. It is you evaluating your life, yourself, and having a rebirth. You're being called. Somebody is calling you. There is somebody that steps up here, and look, you can't make this up. Really glad I do the shuffling and the laying out on camera. If you ever want to slow it down, you just click that button at the top and you can slow it as much as you like. But here you go. You have the 10 of Cups. You went from the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, to the 9 of Wands, rather, with the 9 of Swords 3 times to the 10 of Cups. Happiness, right? Pluto and Pisces, happiness, a happy ending. I'm really happy to see this. So yes, you're going to have a difficult month. You're going to experience some pain. Pluto is coming. You're shedding the skin. You're shedding a part of yourself that's been there for a very long time. This has something to do with your childhood. You may have problems sleeping because we talked about this, and then we saw that 9 of Swords energy, which is the typical, problem sleeping card. You're having issues, but not only are you getting through it, wow, you come out the other end with this energy that's really, really nice. Really, really nice. For Taurus, please. For Taurus. Forces beyond your control intervene. There is some fated thing that goes on this month. Here. Choose your words carefully. Maybe you're used to being the Sphinx. Maybe you're used to not showing your cards. Maybe you keep your cards close to the chest. There is someone coming in with an offer. There is an offer coming in to you. Let's do your numerology. So when we look at your numbers, right, we add all the numbers in this reading up and we break them down. Believe it or not, we get 9. We get Mars energy. That fire, that Mars energy. There's going to be parts of this month that's going to upset you. There's just no doubt. And what's even more interesting, the number we talked about the most, and when I say that, it was attached to a card. It was in the breakdown of something. It wasn't just in passing. So the number that was spoken about the most was also number 9, Mars energy. Very important for you this month. Very important for you. Now, when we look at the planets, it's honestly no wonder that Mars was mentioned the most, with Pluto coming in very close behind. Now, as far as the signs go, we have Virgo, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Leo, and Cancer. Gemini and Leo were mentioned the most. The Sun with that Gemini energy, and Mercury. Messages coming towards you. There's a message coming in. I wish you nothing but the best. Big hugs to whoever's reading this is. And if this is your reading, and you may not know this until February, but if this is your reading, please look at this ending. The ending's worth everything that you're going to go through. Namaste.